your typical tour guide, as this is not your typical tour. It's more of a theatrical presentation of South Beach in 3 acts that's going to require your participation. So I'm going to ask you guys right now, are you all ready to participate and have some fun? Say yeah!
Yeah!
All right, what about you front row? You not ready to have some fun? Say, you guys, everybody, including the front row, everybody have to say yeah!
Yeah!
All right, good. We're going to have a lot of fun here, a lot of fun and hilarity. Now, guys, before I begin, all the fun and hilarity, I do have to go over a couple of safety issues with you guys because we are going to travel through the streets of South Beach and we are going to go on the water. So I need to tell you guys, well, I'll point out right now, I am from New York, so guys, I talk very quickly. If you can't tell already, New York's in the house? All right, cool. And I'm also going to say gonna a lot, okay? I should say going to, but I'm not gonna. I'm going to say gonna, and you guys are hopefully going to get used to that. Now, as we go down Washington Avenue, there are going to be a lot of trees there in the middle of the road. Sometimes it will come in the duck and slap you guys in the duck. Slap you guys in the face on this side of the duck. So guys, be very careful of the trees on Washington Avenue or anybody getting exfoliated today. Also, your arms, hands, feet, and elbows must be in the vessel at all times. Okay, we're all good with that. And you guys must remain seated at all times. So everybody, guys, with that same great South Beach passion, repeat after me. I will remain seated.
I will remain seated.
That's what you call South Beach passion? Come on, guys. I will remain seated.
I will remain seated.
All right, that's a little better. You guys are participating. I like that. Now, guys, I used to, all right. Now, this is the United States Coast Guard inspected vessel, so you will find life jackets underneath the seats and overhead in the back. And there are 2 silly emergency exits. One is over there and one is over here. And I say they're silly because in the very, very unlikely event that this thing does go down in the water, you guys can simply follow my hiney right over this rail over here. You guys are welcome to jump over that rail on that side if you like. And also, guys, since this is a show, please take out your cell phones or turn them off completely or at least put them on vibrate because there is no talking during my show. However, if you do want to talk and say something like, ooh, look at that house, or wow, isn't our tour guide really handsome? Or if you're just translating for others, please do so at a moderate level so as not to disturb me. And more importantly, I don't want you guys disturbing those around you. You guys all good with that? Say yes?
Yeah.
All right, beautiful. Now, guys, I'm going to start beginning the fun and hilarity right now. And I want to give you guys your lines in the show. Because, like I said, it's a participation kind of tour, and you guys are going to participate. And your first line in the show is going to be very simple because you're playing a duck today. Your first line is simply going to be quack, quack, quack. Right? You guys will hopefully say quack, quack, quack when I say 1, 2, 3. And I'll say 1, 2, 3. When I see a family on the sidewalk, I love quacking the families. The kids get a kick out of that. Or if I see somebody who looks like they could use a smile, we'll quack at them also, see if we can get a reaction out of them. Or if somebody quacks at us first, we'll always quack back at them. And sometimes when on the causeway, cars will honk at us 3 times. That's their way of quacking at us from the cars. We'll quack at them as well. And we'll do a lot of quacking at folks when we come back to Ocean Drive and have the party section of the tour. You guys all good with that? Say yes?
Yes.
Let's try it one time. I'll say 1, 2, 3. You guys all please say quack, quack, quack. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Quack, quack, quack.
Good. 1, 2, 3.
Quack, quack, quack.
All right, we're going to have a lot of fun with that. I know it seems a little corny right now, but you guys will see we'll have a lot of fun with that. And I'm glad you're all participating because I used to do the duck tours in New York. When people didn't participate in New York City, you know what we'd say? We didn't say quack, quack, quack. We'd say whack, whack, whack. So I'm glad you guys are all participating today because I don't want any whacking on this duck today. All right, now guys, we're coming up on your right-hand side. I want everybody to take a look over here on your right-hand side. We're coming up to what I call the prettiest street that we have here in South Beach. The name of it is Espanola Way. Everybody take a look over here on your right-hand side. Take a look down the street over here. Espanola Way was built and designed in 1927 as an artist village. Look at this gorgeous street there. And the architectural style on Espanola Way is Mediterranean Revival, which was the main style of architecture here in the 1920s. After the terrible hurricane of 1926 wiped out all the Mediterranean Revival architecture here, Art Deco moved in, and I'll tell you more about that as we go along. Actually, we're coming up, guys, coming up on your right-hand side, we're coming up to a very famous place. You guys ever heard of a show called Miami Ink? Miami Ink used to be on cable. Anybody know that show? All right, Miami Ink was shot right over here at 1360 Washington Avenue, right over here on your right-hand side, right over there. Now, Ari, who started the tattoo, who started Miami Ink right there, at that tattoo parlor. He's now in New York City filming a new show called New York Ink. But if you still want to see the other guys that were on that show, they still work there in the tattoo parlor. So you can go in, you can see Aaron Garver, Darren, and who's the 4th guy? Anybody know? Anybody know the 4th guy? Harry was the main guy, then Garen and Garver and Darren. Anybody? Okay, well guys, check it out. Right there, 1360 Washington Avenue. Now coming up on your left-hand side, a very famous place is a very well-known club called Mansion, which is the biggest, most popular club that we have here in South Beach. Anybody here to party in South Beach? Say yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, woo works for me too. I like that too. Anybody here to party? Say woo. All right, there we go. Now guys, coming up on your left-hand side, I'd like everybody to look in the middle of the block over here. You're going to see a movie marquee. in the middle of the block, and that marks the entrance to Mansion, which I mentioned is the biggest, most popular club that we have here in South Beach. Now I'm pointing to it right there. The Mansion has a movie marquee out front because it used to be a movie theater. And in 1998 it was named Glam Slam and was owned by a little Minneapolis artist who wrote a little song called Purple Rain. Everybody yell it out together. Who wrote Purple Rain? Rain. So here we go, guys. That's the way to yell it out and have some fun here on the South Beach Duck Toys. Now take a look on your left-hand side again. We're coming up to a brown building here on the corner. It says Whopper Bar on it because it's one of the very few Burger Kings in America where you can buy beer with your Whopper. That's why they call it a Whopper Bar. And just to let you know, they don't have Junior Whoppers, so don't go in there looking for them. They're right there at the Whopper Bar. Hey, what are you guys doing over there? Hey, you guys know what are you doing? You're eating at the Whopper Bar. You gonna have beer with your Whopper? Hey, you know what sound a duck makes? Let's tell them. 1, 2, 3.
Quack, quack, quack.
Here we go, there we go. And that's the kind of reaction we love to get. So have a great time in South Beach. Have a great time. Enjoy your beer with your Whopper right over there. All right, guys, look over there. Keep looking on your left-hand side. Look at the silver building on the corner. It says Diner on it. That's on the corner of 11th Street, so we call it the 11th Street Diner. And the architectural style of that building is Art Deco, which I'll tell you more about as we go along. Everybody, please look over here real quick on your right-hand side. I'll point you to the little brown building over here. This little brown building I'm pointing to, we call it the Coral House, because in 1922 it was a house built right there on that spot, made completely of coral rock, which came out of the ground right underneath their feet. They didn't have to take it out of the coral reef in the ocean because Miami Beach is really just one big piece of coral rock underneath all this concrete and asphalt. Guys, look over here on your left-hand side, very famous restaurant club over here called Bed. Bed is right here, pointed to it right there by the silver gray awnings. BED actually stands for Beverage, Entertainment, and Dining. The cuisine of the restaurant is French Polynesian, but the gimmick of the restaurant named BED is that instead of having a dinner at a table, you have it at a guess what? No, your enthusiasm is falling. Let's try it again. You have it at a guess what? There we go. That's the way to have fun here, guys. Keep it up. Now, guys, keep looking on your left-hand side over here. You're going to see a little ladies' clothing store over here, just past the blue awnings. Right over here. I'm pointing to it right there. Oh, it's behind the bus. What is the name of that little ladies' clothing store right there? It's called Dash. Everybody tell me who owns Dash. Yeah, Kardashian. No, not Kim. Kourtney and Khloe Kardashian actually came down here last year to film a show called Kourtney and Khloe Take Miami, and the premise of that show was they worked right there in that store. Now, I don't know if they really worked in the store because I've never been in there and I never saw the show, so don't ask me how I know Scott is a loser. Yeah, there we go. Everybody agrees with me on that. We don't like Scott here in Miami Beach. Now, guys, keep looking again on your left-hand side. We're going to look at this yellow building coming up on the corner. Not this yellow building here, but the one in the corner. Look at that yellow building. You can see the top of it. Can you guys see it over here yet? Okay. Look at the top of that yellow building there. It comes to a point. That's a fine example of futurism. Futurism is style of architecture. That makes up Art Deco, and I'll tell you more about that in a second. Look at that pointy top on that building. It's considered futurism because years ago, rocket ships were considered futuristic. So any building that comes to a point, like a rocket ship does, is considered futurism. And futurism is one of the styles of architecture that makes up Art Deco, which is a combination of futurism, modernism, cubism, nauticalism, and German Bauhaus. And I'll point out some examples of those as we go around town. And keep that in mind because you'll see more examples of those as I mentioned. Now, the name Art Deco didn't come around until the 1970s when somebody decided all those different styles of architecture needed to be classified under one name. And since it was first exposed to the world in Paris, France in 1925, an exhibition called the Exhibition des Industriels Décoratifs Artistes. Somebody just shortened that to Art Deco in the 1970s, and now we have this beautiful style of architecture that we're famous for here in South Beach. Folks, look again to your left-hand side. This blue building on your left has nothing special about it, architecturally speaking. However, at the top floor of that building, right on that corner, was a very famous gym, a boxing gym to be precise. Now, guys, we are coming up to the corner of 5th Street. Now, I pointed out that diner over there real quick was the diner on 11th Street, was the 11th Street Diner. What do you guys think was the name of the gym on 5th Street?
5th Street Gym.
There you go, 5th Street Gym, and it was a boxing gym to be precise, and a lot of championship boxers trained right there at the 5th Street Gym, at the top floor of that blue building, one of which was recently kicked off of Dancing with the Stars. Anybody know what I'm talking about? Sugar Ray Leonard, there you go. Boxing fans or Dancing with the Stars fans? Dancing with the Stars, both? Okay, man says both. Okay. And another famous boxer trained right there at the 5th Street Gym is very well known for a cooking grill that he invented. Who am I talking about now?
George Foreman.
George Foreman, who sold the rights to that cooking grill for $120 million, by the way. And another famous boxer trained right there at the 5th Street Gym, probably the greatest, most famous boxer of all time, started out his life known as Cassius Clay. Who am I talking about now? Muhammad Ali. There we go. Everybody always gets that one. Muhammad Ali trained right there at the 5th Street Gym. Now, guys, during the 1960s, there was a very popular show here in America called The Ed Sullivan Show, which was normally shot in New York City. But in 1964, they came down here to Miami Beach to film a very special episode that they called The British Invasion. Can anybody tell